Help me reach 3,000 subscribers. Hit like and leave a comment. I really do read them all. Before we start, let's test this. How many of you believe a man should never be disrespected in his own home? Hit like if you do. The first sign was small. A Thursday morning, kitchen still cool from the night, coffee machine rattling like it owed me money. I set 2 mugs on the counter. She walked in, phone in hand, swipe, swipe, thumb flying. No good morning. Just a look at the mugs, then at me. 2, she said. Yeah. She stared at the mugs like they were a mistake. You forgot I'm off coffee this week. You said that last week, I answered. You switched back on Tuesday. She lifted a shoulder. This week I'm off again. I slid 1 mug aside, took a sip from mine. Noted. She watched me drink. You don't have to try so hard. I'm pouring coffee, I said. That's what I mean. I let that hang. The fridge hummed. The street outside carried a school bus brake squeal. I set her mug by the sink, not dramatic, just out of the way. She went on swiping, reflection of blue-white text running across her face. Plans tonight? I asked. Busy, she said without looking up. Networking thing. You told me we'd finally do dinner. That was before my calendar filled up. She looked up, clipped smile. Don't be needy. I'm not needy. I'm a person you live with. She shrugged like that was almost cute. You'll be fine. I took another sip and kept my mouth shut. Not because I was scared to speak, because I was adding it up. You can feel when the math in a house changes. That morning, the numbers didn't lie, and if I'd known where that curve was heading, I would have set my own schedule 2 months sooner. She walked past, light perfume, the kind that pretends to be nothing. She set her phone face down on the counter near me and reached for a glass. The phone buzzed. She flicked her eyes at it, then at me, and slid it away like it carried state secrets. You okay? I said. Perfect, she said. As long as we don't make today about feelings. Not planning to. Good, she said. Because I don't have time for a project. That word sat there. Project. I finished my coffee, rinsed the mug, and left it upside down on the rack. My first move wasn't a speech. It was a calendar shift. I called the foreman, took the Saturday overtime I'd skipped for her dinner plan, and moved my mom's fence repair to Sunday morning instead of Sunday afternoon. No announcement. Just changed my availability. When she texted at noon, dinner tonight. We should talk. I replied, not tonight. Monday or Tuesday work. She answered with a thumbs up, then 2 hours later with never mind. I didn't chase. At work Friday, Tom from electrical leaned against the toolbox while we waited for materials. You look like you slept in your truck, he said. Got a bed, I said. Work's fine. Something up with home? Schedule, I said. She's running hers. I'll run mine. Tom nodded like a man who'd learned the same lesson the expensive way. Keep it boring, he said. Boring wins. Exactly. Friday night. She breezed in late, phone in hand again, a new dress with tags probably still inside. I was eating leftover chicken at the kitchen island. She held 2 shopping bags in one hand and set them down like a TV reveal. Emergency charity dinner tomorrow, she said. 8 sharp. Black tie. I took overtime, I said. She blinked. You can move that. I did, I said. I moved it onto my schedule. She smiled the kind of smile that lives on magazine covers and vanishes at dinner tables. You're impossible. I'm clear, I said. She picked up a hanger from the bag and held a dress against herself. Do you want people thinking I show up alone? What does that say about us? That we don't sell tickets. She rolled her eyes. You think being difficult is attractive? I think having a plan is peaceful. You didn't check with me. You didn't check with me when you added the dinner. She tapped the counter with a fingernail. You keep score now? No, I said. I keep a calendar. She pushed the bags aside and opened the fridge. We're going to be late tomorrow. We're the Tucks. If you care about my work at all, be ready. I care, I said. But I won't be there. She shut the fridge. Wow. Monday or Tuesday, I repeated. She laughed under her breath. Don't pretend you're busy by choice. I'm busy by decision. She walked out with the dress. 10 minutes later, she came back, softer voice, no edge. I was sharp earlier, she said. Long day. Let's reset. She poured a small glass of water and slid it to me like a peace offering. I hear you, I said. Then come Saturday. After party only. Just show your face. No, I said. We've got a Monday. She nodded, lips pressed, then leaned against the island. Okay, she said. We'll do Monday. She was gentle for 20 hours. A soft hand to my shoulder when she passed. A question about my day that sounded almost like curiosity. Sunday morning, I was gone at 7 to my mom's place with a drill, screws, and a bucket for the loose posts. By 11, I got a text. Maybe the charity photos weren't a big deal anyway. When are you home? I replied, after lunch. She answered, I'll cook. I kept the reply simple. Good. Sunday's lunch was decent. Chicken, rice, salad. We ate quiet. She brought up a show we used to watch. Asked if I wanted to start it again. I'm not starting anything I can't finish, I said. She nodded like she liked the line. Fair. Then Monday came. We met at a new restaurant she picked. The server poured water. She looked across the table. You've been different, she said. More precise, I answered. I don't like precise if it means cold. I like precise because it stops confusion. You think I confuse you? I think you keep everything blurry, I said. You call it flexible. She tilted her head. I'm trying to have a life. So am I. You're making rules. I'm setting boundaries. She laughed softly. Boundaries? Are we teenagers now? Adults need them more. She put her elbows on the table, hands around the glass. Let me make it real simple so we don't waste the night. I need a partner who can handle a woman with a schedule, with ambition, with friends, with plans. I handle all of that, I said. What I don't handle is disrespect. That includes sarcasm at home and performance in public. Performance? She said. Because I go to dinners? Because you announce plans and expect a yes. She leaned back. I announce because you forget to care. I looked at her and didn't blink. If you want to talk, we can talk. If you want to take shots, I'll order the check. Always with the exits, she said. Always with the little knives, I said. The server came, we ordered, and she changed the subject to something light. Halfway through, our neighbor from upstairs, a nurse named Denise, walked by our table with a friend. She stopped. Hey, Denise said. You two out on a Monday? Look at you. Work dinner, my wife said before I could open my mouth. He's learning how to behave in public. The table next to us heard that. Denise's eyebrows went up. My wife smiled like it was banter. I didn't return it. We're learning different things, I said to Denise. Hope your shift was short. 10 hours, Denise said. Her eyes flicked between us. You two enjoy. When she left, I looked at my wife. That's exactly what I mean. What? She said, innocent blinking on. Your jokes are always a little costly. They're jokes. They're messages. She lifted the wine glass. Relax. I'm relaxed. I'm also done being a prop for your personality. Her smile thinned. You make me the villain in your head. I actually stopped doing that, I said. I just started listening to the lines. She put the glass down. You need thicker skin. You need basic respect. She stared at me a long second, then exhaled. Fine. I crossed a line. Let me own it. I'm sorry. She reached across the table. I didn't move to take her hand, and I didn't gloat. I let the apology sit in the air until it felt like a real weight and not a trick coin. Okay, I said. Then let's not repeat it. Deal, she said quickly. It lasted 4 days. Thursday night, she had 3 friends over. 2 from her yoga group and 1 I didn't know. I came home to a full living room and a coffee table covered with little plates and greens and bottles of sparkling water. They were talking in fast bursts, all energy, joints of the conversation moving too quick to catch. Hey, she said loud when I walked in. We're in the middle of something. I stood in the doorway, boots still on. I can see that. One of the yoga friends smiled too warmly. Join us. I'm good, I said. We're talking goals, the unknown one said. Vision boards. You know. Congrats, I said. My wife shot me a look. Can you be less you? I can be in the bedroom, I said. Door closed. Perfect, she said, bright. Then to her friends. He gets cranky when adult conversation happens. Cheers and laughter. I watched the laughter travel across their faces and fade. I went down the hall, not quick, not slow. In the bedroom, I sat on the edge of the bed for a minute and let the engine idle. Then I stood up, got the small suitcase from the closet, and set it on the chair. Work clothes, toiletries, charger. I didn't slam drawers. I didn't make a movie out of it. I put the suitcase by the door. Not to leave, not yet. To make a point. A visible one. I grabbed my laptop and carried it back to the living room, set it on the dining table, opened it, and started on paperwork I'd been putting off. Account logins, savings transfers, paperwork for the new project next month that pays better but needs weekend availability. 10 minutes later, she walked over, friends giggling at something behind her. What are you doing? She asked, voice quiet, smile fixed. Paperwork, I said. In the middle of my evening? In my house. My friends are here. Doors open, I said. They can see me do grown-up conversation with my banker. She kept the smile for the room and lowered it for me. Can you take that to the bedroom? I could, I said. I won't. She pinched the bridge of her nose. You're making a scene. No, I said. I'm ending a pattern. Her friends were now very interested in the label on a bottle. She leaned closer. 5 minutes, she murmured. Then we'll talk. 15, I said. And I'm not available after 10. She blinked. Not available. New rule, I said. You like rules when they're yours. She stood there, calculating. Then she put on the brightness again and turned back to her friends. Ladies, give me half an hour. There it was, the second soft face. After the plates were cleared and the door closed behind her last guest, she came to the table where I was finishing a transfer. I'm sorry about earlier, she said, softer than Monday's version. I got carried away. You like an audience, I said. Just keep me out of your act. She nodded. I will. I closed the laptop. She moved closer, hand to my arm. Let's reset, she said. You and me. Tonight. I'm not available after 10, I said again. It's 9:40, she said with a little smile. We can beat your clock. I don't race clocks. She pulled her hand back. A beat. Then she exhaled through her nose in a way that told me the apology window was for show. She walked down the hall and shut the bedroom door. I put the laptop away, zipped the suitcase, and left it by the door where she would see it in the morning. Saturday afternoon, we were at the hardware store picking up paint samples because she wanted to refresh the office corner. She put 3 swatches in front of me and asked which one looked more assertive but not loud. I pointed to the light gray. She picked the green-blue. On the drive back, she put her phone in the cup holder, screen up, turned toward her. I kept both hands on the wheel. Traffic on the avenue was slow. Do you ever think about what we're building? She asked suddenly. Every day, I said. I mean beyond bills and dinner. Respect, time, peace. Peace. She repeated like the word had a bad aftertaste. Peace is boring. Peace is rare. You like dull. I like steady. She looked out the window, shook her head. You're afraid of life. No, I said. I'm tired of games. Back home, we set the swatches on the desk. She looked at them like they'd betrayed her. Then she looked at me. We're hosting Friends Tuesday, she said. I told them you'd cook. You told them that without asking me? You like cooking. Not on command. She put her hands on her hips. Just do it. No, I said. Invite them Wednesday, and I'll order food. If you want Tuesday, do it yourself. She smiled thin. You're cute when you pretend to have leverage. I stepped closer. No heat, just a line. Stop disrespecting me in my own house. Oh, now it's your house. It's ours, I said. And I live here. She took a breath like she was about to argue, and then, right on schedule, pivoted sweet. Look, she said gently, touching my shirt sleeve. We've been off. I can own my part. I've been stressed. I take it out sideways. I don't want to fight with you. We don't have to fight, I said. We just have to quit playing. She nodded, eyes warm now. Then help me pick the paint. I looked at the swatches. Light gray. She smiled. Okay, light gray. It was almost believable. Almost. The breaking point didn't come with a shout. It came with a little sound, the tiny click of my phone case opening. Sunday night. We were in the living room. A game was on low volume. My phone was on the arm of the chair next to me. I got up to get a glass of water. She sat on the edge of the couch and reached for my phone like it had always belonged to her hand. She opened it, tapped, scrolled. I stood in the kitchen doorway and watched. I didn't say a word. I watched. She looked at a message from a colleague. Nothing dramatic, just a time change for Tuesday's site meeting. She squinted like she was deciphering something that wasn't there. Then she looked up at me, holding the phone just high enough to be a little stage. Who is this texting you? She said, sly smile on, eyebrows up. Though honestly, who needs you besides me? I set the water glass down. Not hard. Just set it down. I walked over, took the phone from her hand, and pocketed it. I didn't raise my voice. Line crossed, I said. Oh please, she said, spreading her hands. You act like you're interesting. You act like I'm furniture, I said. And this is why you don't get invited to half the things I go to, she said. You make everything heavy. You made it heavy when you turned respect into a novelty, I said. She laughed, low and mean. Big words for a man who can't keep up. I looked at her a long second and felt something quiet click into place. Not anger, not hurt, a decision. I walked to the bedroom, pulled the suitcase handle up, and brought it to the living room. I set it by my boots. I put on socks, shoes, jacket from the chair, wallet, keys. She watched, smirk fading. Where are you going? Out, I said. For how long? Long enough. That's not an answer. It's the one you're getting. She stood, crossed her arms. We're not done. We are, I said. I took a pen and one of the sticky notes from the desk. I wrote 2 words. I set it on the console by the TV where she wouldn't miss it. Earn my return. She read it. That's dramatic. No, I said. It's simple. I opened the door. You'll be back by Tuesday, she said. You always are. I won't, I said, and closed the door behind me. Sometimes the ending is just a doorknob in your hand and a quiet hallway that smells like old paint. I walked it, hit the stairs, and by the time I reached the truck, I knew I wasn't sleeping in that bedroom again. I drove to my parents' place. Late, but the porch light still worked on the timer, and the air in that house has always been honest. My father opened the door in a t-shirt and pajama pants, looked at the suitcase, looked at me, didn't ask a single stupid question. Guest room's made, he said. Thanks, I said. In the morning, I made coffee for them the way they taught me. 2 spoons, no speeches. I sat at the small kitchen table that's seen more birthdays than arguments and looked at my phone. 3 messages from her. First, cute note. Second, you're overreacting. Third, if you leave me alone, don't expect me to wait. I didn't reply. At 8:15, a new message slid in from an unknown number. Hey, it's Lily. Are you free today? Her sister. Short hair, direct eyes, no glitter. We'd talked at holidays and a few barbecues. She never used the weird baby voice tone people use when a couple fights. She had a way of looking at you like she accepted evidence before feelings. I stared at the text for a second. My father poured me more coffee without asking. What's up, he said. Her sister, I said. She wants to meet. Why? No idea. He nodded. You'll find out. I texted back. Afternoon, 2 o'clock, the diner on Oak. She replied in 15 seconds. I'll be there. Before I left, I made 2 calls. The first to my credit union to move the bulk of the joint savings into a holding account with my name only. No drama. Logins, confirmations, a clear explanation. The joint account stays funded for bills due this week. The rest is secured until we figure out logistics. The second to the supervisor on the new job site to accept the add-on hours I'd been waffling on. Clarity has a way of cleaning calendars. The diner on Oak smells like bacon and dish soap from 1989. The kind of place with a crack in the corner of every laminated menu. I chose the booth by the window. Lily walked in on time, blue jacket, no makeup drama, hair tucked behind one ear. She slid into the booth across from me and put her phone face down on purpose. Thanks for meeting, she said. Sure. You look the same, she said. Just lighter. Good sleep, I said. She cracked the tiniest smile. She told me you'd run home to your parents. I drove, I said. Same headline, different verb, she said. Look, I'm not here to deliver messages. I'm here because I've seen her work a pattern for a long time, and I wanted to say one sentence to your face. You're not crazy. I leaned back. I didn't think I was. People get told they are when they stop playing along, she said. I grew up in the same house she did. I know the moves. Sarcasm, then sweetness, then a little shove in public to see if you flinch. She's consistent, I said. She's careful, Lily said. She likes to stay the hero in the story. The server came, we ordered coffee. Lily waited until the server left. She checked your phone, didn't she? Lily said. Then did the little I'm the only one who needs you routine. That's the line, I said. Lily nodded, not surprised. I figured. She tell you that? She didn't have to, Lily said. I've watched her do a version of it with most people she's close to. And before you ask, yeah, I've told her it's ugly. She calls me jealous. I didn't smile at that. I just looked at Lily and saw something solid in her that made sense of the text she'd sent. So I said, you came to what? Warn me? Say I should run. I came to ask what you need, Lily said. Because when a person like her loses control, she doesn't go quiet. She goes bigger. She'll pivot to charming. Or cruel. Or both. And most people fold because they want the storm to end. I just wanted you to have one person nearby who won't ask you to soften your boundaries. That's not nothing, I said. It's not nothing, she agreed. It's also not a trap. I'm not here on her behalf. Good, I said. She took a sip of coffee, set the mug down, kept her eyes on mine. And I'm going to be inappropriate for one sentence, she said, tone even. I've liked you for a long time. Quietly. Not because you're charming. Because you're steady. That's it. I'm not asking for anything today. There it was. No bow on it. No soft music. Just a plain fact dropped on the formica. Thank you, I said, for saying it like that. If you need silence, I can do that, she said. If you need a witness, I can do that. If you need a place to sit for an hour when the calls start, I can do that. If you want me to disappear, I can do that too. I don't need you to disappear, I said. But I'm not going back. Good, she said. No sparkle, no clap. Just a nod that read like approval from a quiet judge. My phone buzzed. A text from my wife. You made your point. Come home. We'll set rules. I set the phone down again, screen down now. I'm going to keep the point, I said. Lily looked at the phone, then back at me. That's the right call. We talked about logistics for 20 minutes. Not feelings. Logistics. How to handle getting the rest of my clothes without drama. How to handle the spare keys. How to handle the inevitable, let's talk tonight messages. It felt like planning a job site move, trucks, routes, sequence. Before she left, Lily stood, pulled a small card from her pocket. My number, she said. Use it if you want. Or don't. You won't get a second ask. That line sounds familiar, I said. She smiled. You'll like it. She walked out into a bright afternoon that didn't care about our conversation. I sat with the coffee until it cooled. Consequences came at their own pace. I returned to the apartment Monday at noon when I knew she'd be at her networking lunch. I put 2 boxes of my things in the truck. I left the joint items and the furniture. I left the light bulbs I'd replaced and the tools I'd fixed a cabinet with. I set the second key on the counter. I cleaned the sink because I'm that kind of man even when I'm leaving. I took one picture of the note on the console to remind myself I'd meant what I wrote. Then I closed the door behind me and heard, for once, peace. That evening she called. I let it go to voicemail. She texted, you're being dramatic. Then, I'll be home at 9. We can talk then. Then, when 9 came and went without a reply from me, she texted, fine. I'll talk. You listen. That's when I muted her thread. At work Tuesday, Tom leaned against the ladder and grunted. You look better. I slept, I said. Stick with that, he said. I did. I kept working, kept moving, kept not checking my phone every 5 minutes for permission to live. Wednesday, Lily texted once at lunch. You good? I replied, good. Thanks. She didn't send balloons or a paragraph. She sent one reply. Keep going. That night, my wife tried the soft phase again. A picture of a homemade dinner on our table. I ignored it. 30 minutes later, I'm sorry. I miss you. I kept the phone on the dresser, face down. When I didn't respond, she pivoted. Next text, people will ask why you left. I don't know what to tell them. I left that alone too. On Thursday, she tried public pressure. Denise from upstairs sent me a message. She's been loud in the hall. You okay? I sent back. I'm fine. Thanks for checking. She replied, boundaries matter. Proud of you. Real life has these small kindnesses you don't see when you're inside the noise. I met Lily again a week later, on a bench near the river where the path runs under the bridge and the traffic sound turns into a steady wash. We sat with coffee and didn't pretend we were suddenly something. We just talked like 2 adults who'd seen the same storm and decided to step to different sides of it. You still sure? She asked. More sure, I said. What's her angle now? Anger in the morning, I said. Charm in the afternoon. Silence at night, so I wonder. I don't wonder. Good, she said. Keep your schedule. I moved the rest of my direct deposits, I said. No joint anything going forward. That'll get attention. Let it. She looked at the water, then back at me. I'm not rushing you. But I am going to say this so it's on the table only once. When you're done with paperwork and sleep, I'd like to take you to dinner. Not as her sister. As me. I let the words land. You said that cleaner than most contracts. I read everything twice, she said. Good habit. Do you want me to ask again later? No, I said. I heard you. When I'm done with the last box. I'll ask you. She smiled once small. Deal. We sat another 10 minutes and said nothing. Not the heavy kind of nothing. Just the kind that stops making excuses for bad weather. The last time I spoke to my wife was 2 weeks later in a lobby of the building where she insisted we meet because it's neutral. She wore a dress she kept for important conversations. I wore work jeans and a clean shirt. She started with sweetness and slid to condescension and finished with commands. Script. I let her finish the whole run because interrupting would have made it look like I was trying to win a debate. When she was done, she lifted her chin. Say something. I heard you, I said. Now hear me. We're done. You don't get to decide that alone. I just did. You're throwing away years. You threw away respect, I said. I apologized, she said, as if that cleared a ledger. You apologized twice, I said. Then repeated yourself twice. You want me to beg? She said, eyes cold, voice warm. I don't want you to do anything except live with the result. You think you'll find better, she said. You won't. I already found peace, I said. It's quieter and cheaper. She laughed once, a sharp sound that bounced off the mailboxes. You'll come back. No. What makes you so sure? I thought about the sticky note on the console. I thought about the sound of my father's coffee cup on the table. I thought about Lily's single-line text that didn't ask me to be anything other than consistent. Because I keep promises, I said. She stepped closer. Say it then. Give me your big line so you can feel proud. I didn't give her volume. I gave her clarity. Earn my return, or get used to the empty chair, I said. I'm not holding it for you anymore. She blinked, like the words had some small physical weight she hadn't accounted for. Then she set her jaw and tried one more angle. You're not that important, she said. I am to me, I answered. I walked out. The door closed behind me with a soft sound no one clapped for. That was enough. I didn't move in with Lily. I didn't sprint into something to prove a point. I finished the boxes in my parents' garage, signed what needed signing, turned in keys, and set up a small place on the edge of town where the freeway is close and the mornings are quiet. I learned the names of the neighbors on either side. I fixed a loose hinge for the woman next door because it took 4 screws in 2 minutes, and that's what people do when they live next to each other. On a Saturday 3 months later, I texted Lily, dinner? She replied with a time and a place and nothing else. We met. We talked like adults who owed nothing to old ghosts. She told me about her job and how she likes systems more than slogans. I told her about the new crew and the supervisor who doesn't like surprises. Halfway through, she set her fork down. You kept your word, she said. That's all I've got, I said. It's enough, she said. We didn't make speeches about the past. We didn't trade autopsies of a marriage. We kept the table clear of that. If you want to know how something failed, watch the beginning and the middle. The end writes itself. She walked me to my truck. I opened her door. She looked at me like she'd already known what I was going to say next. I don't do maybes anymore, I said. If we do this, we do it with rules we both respect. Straight talk. No little knives. No little knives, she said. And if either of us forgets, we fix it that day. Same day, I said. She nodded. Deal. We didn't need a kiss to make the scene look finished. We just needed the same thing we'd been giving each other since that first coffee, clear lines. She still sends the occasional message. Holidays. Half-holiday excuses. Lines that read like someone trying to triangulate a memory. I don't answer. Not because I'm angry. Because we're past the part where words do anything useful. My place stays simple. Tools in the shed. Bills paid on the 1st. I cook on Sundays because I like how the smell stays in a house and says this is yours. On Friday nights, I park the truck, lock the door, and let quiet be the reward. Sometimes Lily's there. Sometimes she's at her place, and we text one sentence each that doesn't need a second ask. When people ask what happened, I don't perform. I don't make villains or speeches. I say this. Respect left the room, so I did too. Then I did the next right thing and kept doing it until my life looked like me again. That's the whole story. No fireworks. No grand finale. Just a man who stopped negotiating with disrespect, wrote 2 words on a sticky note, and meant them. And when the answer came back wrong, he didn't threaten. He didn't bargain. He left, closed the door, and built something steady on the other side. If you want a moral, you can make your own. Mine is simple. Boundaries aren't a speech. They're a schedule, a key on a counter, and a chair you no longer hold for someone who keeps telling you you're lucky to sit there. If you made it this far, that means the story spoke to you. Please consider subscribing, leaving a like, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. It really means a lot to me, more than you know. These stories take time to write, and your support helps me keep going. Thank you for listening all the way through. Until next time.